students percent proficiency. We can see that Madison has the highest percent proficiency. Arizona, the state of Arizona, is the second highest. Then we see Wilson, Levine, and Alhambra, and Creighton is right next to Alhambra. So it really makes us excited that we've moved from the middle of the pack toward sort of to the top of the pack, I call it, because Alhambra is has a like population, maybe a little bit more high SES students. They have excellent programs in place, so we always have strived to have our scores be as high as Alhambra. Cartwright is, I think it has to be 4 times bigger, 4 times larger district than we do. They have a very challenging population. They have a lot of things in place, so it's interesting that we've actually mirrored their scores. So Osborne, Murphy, Phoenix L, Isaac, Bobs, they all look very much like us, so we always like to look at how their scores are doing. And then Roosevelt has a little bit more challenging population, and their governance system has some challenges also. But it's sort of fun to look at the scores in comparison. Now I'm going to show you some trends in reading and math on the Ames test. So it's really exciting to see our reading trends. We see very positive trend lines. That's what the blue graphs are showing. We have positive trend lines in every grade level. 8th grade reading went down a little bit this year, but every other grade level is showing very positive trends. We also like to break it down into the FAME category. What we're interested in is seeing that exceeds increase, our proficiency is large, and we'd like to see falls far below shrink. We don't actually see that right now. We don't have real positive trends. When we look at the kids all together, we definitely would like to work on improving those trends. So we focus on how we're going to increase the number of students who score exceeding, and we also focus on how can we decrease the number of students in FAME. So with exceeding, we always talk to the sites about how when the children are being retaught, who are already demonstrating proficiency, how are we enriching them. And then in the FAME, we're always talking about if the kids did not pass that first CFA, how are we reteaching them. As we look at math, I only have 2 data points in math. I'm looking forward to the 3rd data point. Right now it looks good, except for maybe 8th grade. We definitely have concerns about 8th grade math. Any questions about the trends?
The concerns in 8th grade math an issue of aligning? Is it an issue of the test? Is it aligning the curriculum? What are the issues? I saw that with an AYP chart we had other issues in 8th grade also. But. Yes.
I do have concerns about the test a little bit. The state overall fell on the 8th grade Ames in reading and math. So when the state overall falls, then I always call ADE and I say, did you equate the test right? And they always say, oh, of course we did. And then they say, it must be the students. And then I say, well, 7th grade didn't look like that. So we have those conversations. But the other thing, when we go out and we ask the science how they feel about their 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade math programs, we do have questions about content knowledge. And so we definitely want to provide robust professional development to our teachers. So we do have concerns about 8th grade. And 8th grade students are an interesting group to teach. It's coming from a high school teacher who taught 9th graders, and I think they're just like them. So these trend lines, these are what we call the FAME stack bar charts, where it shows red is falls far below, yellow is approaches, green is meets the standard, and blue is just realized thank you very much, exceeds. And this one is 3rd grade reading, and this is a really nice chart because we actually see that green line that green group getting very large. We see the exceeds group starting to grow larger, and we can see a decrease in the falls far below. Sort of one of those classic charts that always make us really excited. I'm putting the math right next to it. Like I said, I only have 2 data points with this new test and the new standards. And I know we're going to look forward to seeing these stack bar charts show that positive trend also. As we look at 4th grade, we're a little bit concerned. In math, they're flatlined a little bit. The reading looks good. We'd like to see the Exceeds group grow larger. In 5th grade, we see improvement overall, so we're very excited. 5th grade was a grade level that sort of was flatlined for us for several years, but with this new project with Wested and Alice, we actually see 5th grade improving. We see improvement in the math scores, a reduced number of students that falls far below. When we look at 6th grade, we see improvement in overall in the number of students that are proficient and a decrease in falls far below. In 7th grade, this is sort of a fun chart. I just love to see the Exceeds group go larger and to see the falls far below group get smaller. So this is a remarkable chart. Those teachers need to be congratulated. In 8th grade, like I said, we really wish we knew exactly what was going on in 8th grade. Was it the test? Is it a cohort group? Is it a content knowledge issue? We definitely would like to know. We're concerned that our falls far below group in 8th grade math is quite large. We really want to see a decrease in that group. So, like I said, AIMS is a dual-purpose assessment. I'm going to show you the norm reference test scores. Norm reference means that the test was given to a large group of students that are representative of the country at each of the grade levels. So that means they had the same demographics as the country at the time that it was normed. So we can actually compare our students to that group. So what's interesting is our students come to us and have for many years come to us with a low percentile rank. And as they stay with us all the way to the 8th grade year, they're moving closer and closer to the 50th percentile rank, which means they would be more representative of students from across the country. So as we look at our reading norm reference data, we do see quite a significant gain from 2nd grade to 8th grade, which tell us that we're being effective in teaching those students reading. When we look at math, what's really exciting here is the kids come to us with low percentile ranks on that first test. They take up the SAT 10, but by the time they take it in the 8th grade year, they're almost up to or exceeding the 50th norm percentile rank. So we feel that our students are receiving an excellent education in mathematics. Any question about the norm reference data? Okay. This was a report that one of our principals asked us to prepare. They wanted us to join the data from previous year to the current year of students that took the test. And what we're looking at is a stack bar chart of the FAME results in both reading and math. Actually say exactly how many students in the district took the test. So in 4th grade, it's 608 students out of, say, 800 students. Have a score from 3rd grade and then in 4th grade. And then we look to see if our programs are being effective for them. So in reading, it looks like we have a decrease in the amount of students that exceed on that 4th grade test. It appears that our proficiency is 6% higher. And then we see that we have decreased the number of students in the falls far below category. So we feel that 4th grade reading showed positive results in the cohort study. When we look at math, we see actually a decrease in the number of students that are in the Exceeds group, about the same in the Meets group, a little bit decrease in the Approaches group, and then an increase actually in the students in the falls far below. So as we work in implementing these new math standards and as we implement our math fluency initiative this year, we're looking forward to seeing a significant change in these student scores. Any questions on the 4th grade cohort report? So this is the 5th grade report. We can see a significant increase in proficiency for the students that have been with us for 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. And we actually, and we still have issues switching from the old standards to the new standards in math. So we're going to wait on evaluating math for a year or so. As we look at 6th grade, we definitely see an increase in the students who are proficient. We see a decrease in the FAME. Again, there's a difference in the standards on this slide. When we look at 7th grade, it's a very significant increase in proficiency and a significant decrease in the number of students that are in the falls far below group. It's very exciting to see the 7th grade cohort report. In 8th grade, we had some issues this year. We actually saw an increase in the number of students that are in the approaches group, which concern us because those students are not proficient as they moved on to high school. So that concludes our cohort report. We also want to talk about the students that are in our kinder through 3rd grade program. We use curriculum-based measures to evaluate it. The program that we use is called iSteep, which is comparable to DIBELS. It actually has a higher accuracy rate, and we chose this assessment, CBM assessments, using a RFP process 2 years ago. When we look at our tiered program, we actually have 80% of our students are in Tier 1, we have 13% are in Tier 2, which is 1 grade level below their peers, and 7% are in Tier 3, which is 2 or more grade levels below their peers. So the result of those assessments, and which is interesting, for Tier 1, we actually had a large number of students who were not mastering on of course, the first screener, and at the end of the year, we're showing almost 90% mastery rate for Tier 1 students on our CBMs. As we look at Tier 2, we have a large number of students that are in the frustrational zone, and what we find is 74% of the students who began the year as frustrational improved 1 or more categories, and that actually equals to 1 or more grade levels. They've improved 1 or more grade levels on their reading. So these are really magnificent results for the first year of implementing response to intervention. Now, Tier 3 are students that are 2 or more grade levels below their peers. These actually could be students that are like 7th graders reading at a 2nd grade level. And what we found, yes, 100% of them were frustrational, and we moved 53% of them 1 or more grade levels. We actually moved some students onto mastery at grade level. And these results are absolutely remarkable. Any questions about our response to intervention program and our student results? So I put in the T4S classroom observation data. The strategy is to refine and improve the instructional strategies used by teachers in the delivery of the curriculum in mainstream and English language development classrooms, because we can't get any effect on student scores without teachers teaching in the classroom. Teachers are where the rubber meets the road. In our district, we use 8 elements to evaluate 8 elements or strategies that should be observed in the classroom. I put the data up for October, December, and April from last year for each of the elements, and we do see some improvement over the year. The goal is that we should see in each classroom, of the observations in the classroom, we need to see each of these strategies 80% of the time. Any questions about the T4S data? These classroom observations do correlate to higher student assessment scores. AZELA is our Arizona English Language Learner Assessment. We actually saw a decrease in the progress of students moving 1 grade level or 1